Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles. In this week's news, not in my backyard, says Oxford Township residents. A cell tower may be coming soon. And local police say you should always keep your vehicles locked. Find out why.
Stay tuned. Learn more about these stories and others. The Oxford News begins right now. Despite opposition by Oxford Township residents, the Township Planning Commission unanimously approved Step 1 to installing a Verizon cell tower at Seymour Lake Park. The residents objected to the proposal on the basis of unproven potential radiation and health problems caused by cell towers' radio waves. The tower would eliminate what Fire Chief Schultz calls a dead zone, in which the cell phone calls are dropped or no signal at all received. Both the chief and the Parks and Recreation Department Director Ron Davis say the dead zone causes a serious safety issue in case of emergencies by not being able to call for help. According to the Federal Communications Act of 1996, there has been no scientific evidence cell towers cause health issues. Therefore, local boards cannot deny cell towers on the basis of health reasons. The next step is for Verizon to go to the Zoning Board of Appeals and ask for a variance. If the variance is granted, the Township Board will be the last stop for the final approval.
Well, we're not done hearing about that 911 contract yet. The Oxford Village Council recently amended the 911 Oakland County Dispatch Service contract. The actual turnover date has been changed from January 2017. The full turnover date will take place in November instead of this year. According to the council, the reason for the date change is because the initial transition is smoother than originally expected. The total contract for 16 months will be $41,500 as opposed to the yearly fee of $338,000 spent by the village to have local 911 service. As an added incentive to making the switch, the county court's Law Enforcement Management Information System, which is also known as CLEMIS, will pay the village a one-time $50,000 fee. Congratulations.
3.5 acres of Oxford Village property on North Glassby Street, which has been on the market for some time, has failed to produce a buyer. The property is the former site of Spearing Tool and Die, an industrial machine shop. In 2006, the village bought the property for $700,000 in hopes to avoid more industry to settle next to the village water supply and park. Because there is no record of environmental soil and water testing, Council member Eric Dolan suggested a Phase 2 ESA environmental testing must be performed before selling the property for a legitimate price. Last year, local developer Chuck Snyder was ready to and willing to make a purchase. However, neighbors squashed the deal after voicing concerns of possible water noise and traffic pollution. Council voted to move forward with the testing.
This year's DDA hosted Scarecrow Festival and Chili Cook-Off was another huge success. Kids and parents dressed in their Halloween best as they enjoyed trick-or-treating at the local businesses. Sunny weather and games for the kids kept the crowds in Centennial Park, where wafts of chili drew eager eaters to vote for this year's People's Choice Award to the chef extraordinaire. After winning 2 years in a row, Sullivan's Public House conceded the chili pepper crown to Victoria's Delights. Judge's Choice Chili winner went to the Ox Bar. The Scarecrow contest decorated the downtown with some great ghoulish entries, and the Oxford Bank gave out $25 gift cards to many of the winners. All in all, it was a perfect day to celebrate our downtown activities, and happy Halloween to everybody.
There was another attempted robbery to our local business community. In the early morning hours, police were called to Mario's Golden Nugget because someone was attempting to vandalize and break into the establishment. When officers arrived, they found someone damaged the business sign, smashed the metal container used to collect clothing for the needy, and attempted to break into the back door of the business. While there is no clear evidence as to who would have committed these acts of violence against the business, in the future, the police will provide extra patrols in the area, and the case remains open.
I don't know what's going on around here, but now golfers have to beware. After a game of golf, an Oxford man found someone had broken into his car. The theft at the greens broke out the driver's side window and stole a laptop computer and $7,000 worth of business receipts. A police investigation is still ongoing.
And speaking of the onslaught of burglaries and so forth, the Oakland County Sheriff's officers are investigating a series of robberies involving locked vehicles in the Oxford area. Between October 10th and October 15th, there were 7 reports of items stolen from vehicles. Most of the robberies occurred in the Waterstone development. Police are warning the public that these predators are lurking in and around your neighborhood. So take extra care to lock your vehicles and garage doors at all times.
I don't know what's going on. That's it for Oxford News this week. If you want to learn more about these stories and others, you know what to do. Stop by your local store and pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper, or better yet, catch us right here at OCTV, Charter Channel 191, or AT&T Channel 99.
And coming up next on OCTV, Oxford Sports with Jamie Hughes, and catch Oxford School News with John Ochins. And don't forget to watch Auto Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kenny.
I'm Terry Stiles, and this is Oxford News This Week, where we bring your news closer to home.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, the ExoMars lander seems to have been lost. In a press conference, ESA spelled out what we know so far about what happened to the Schiaparelli lander on its descent to the surface of Mars. About 50 seconds before touchdown, the lander lost communication. It had successfully used its heat shield to slow down as it entered the Martian atmosphere and deployed its parachute. The parachute was then meant to be ejected and thrusters turned on to prepare Schiaparelli for landing, but this is where things went wrong. The data is still to be analyzed, but there was radio silence for the final part of the descent. What is the likelihood that the lander is in one piece, said Jan Werner, ESA Director General? We don't know. The orbiter is now ready for science, and we got all the confirmations that we needed, says Werner. TGO will start its science mission in 2017 after moving slowly into a more stable orbit around Mars. And from your refrigerator, putting tomatoes in the fridge ruins their flavor, and now we know why. Chilling stresses the tropical plant, irreversibly reducing the activity of hundreds of genes, some of which are involved in giving tomatoes their wonderful aroma. Wow. And while we're still in the kitchen, if you're feeling popular, or unpopular that is, try eating more bananas. A team of researchers has been experimenting with human feces to discover which foods should make a person's past gas smell better. Chu Yao at Monash University in Melbourne, Australia, and her team found that mixing feces with cysteine, a component of meat, dairy, and other types of protein, causes a 7-fold increase in the amount of hydrogen sulfide gas, which smells like rotten eggs, that was released by the gut bacteria in the feces. This explains why bodybuilders who consume lots of protein powder are known to pass smelly gas, says Yao. But resistant starch found in potatoes, bananas, legumes, and cereals, and fructans, which are found in wheat, artichokes, and asparagus, reduced hydrogen sulfide by about 75%. The findings were presented at a Gastroenterological Society of Australia conference in Adelaide last week, challenging the conventional wisdom that people with stinky gas should eat less fiber. Wow. And back on Earth, worms have been spotted growing sprouts in their burrows, a type of cultivation never seen before in non-humans. Ragworms were thought to consume the seeds of cordgrass, an abundant plant in their coastal habitats. But the seeds have a tough husk, so it was a mystery of how the worms could access the edible interior. Zhenjiang Xu of the Royal Netherlands Institute for Sea Research in Den Hoorn and his team have now discovered the worm's surprising trick. They bury the seeds and wait for them to germinate, later feeding on the juicy sprouting shoots. The sprouts are more nutritious than the raw seeds and are rich in protein, fats, and amino acids. The process of sprouting improves the digestibility and quality of the food, says Xu. To test the effects of sprout consumption, they gave 20 worms different diets. Those that ate sprouts gained more weight, growing by 25% compared with 5% for those that stuck to raw seeds and sediment. Ted Schultz, an entomologist at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., thinks sprout cultivation could be important to the worm's survival and that this is a sophisticated adaptation because they must wait to harvest the food rather than consuming it immediately. It's the beginning of agriculture, he says. The team suspects that earthworms are sprout growers too because they are thought to supplement their diets with seeds also. And in space, China has sent a pair of astronauts to live on its experimental new space station for a month. Jing Haiping, who is in its third mission, and Cheng Dong were due to dock with the Tiangong 2 space station on October 18th. During their 30 days on board, they will carry out 14 experiments. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
I'm John Ochins, and welcome to the Oxford Wildcats School Update. Good news on the Oxford Schools Department of Education fall head count. Our numbers are up. Our full-time kids number just over 5,917. That's up 256 from last year. The middle and some elementary schools were down a bit, but that was more than made up by the Virtual Academy, which experienced a growth of over 256 students, and the high school that was up just over 62. This is important because it represents 90% of a district's funding. Last week was School Bus Safety Week, and Ann Whedon's folks were out in the schools talking about it.
My bus driver trainers are currently in the elementary schools doing what we call a safety program with the developmental kindergarten, and first grade students. And they actually go into the classrooms and show a video regarding proper behavior on the school bus and showing the students how to properly evacuate a school bus in case it's needed. And we do those evacuations every year with the kids.
There's always concern that kids will know the escape procedure in the event of an accident. There's going to be some training for that too.
We will be doing student evacuations with the kids the first week of November. We're actually going to try to do high school and middle school evacuations on Election Day. So we don't have elementary schools that day, so we won't then have our buses late on their elementary routes. And then we'll also do student evacuations with the elementary students later in that same week. And we actually have the kids evacuate a school bus as if it were, in an accident or say on fire or something like that, so that they get a little bit of practice, kind of like what the schools have to do with their fire drills.
State Police school bus inspectors paid us a visit this year. Some good news on that.
Yes, every year all school bus or school districts go through Michigan State Police inspections, and our inspections were this spring. You get a 1-year tag for every bus in the fleet that passes inspection, and my mechanics or technicians were just given an award from the Michigan State Police. It's a Certificate of Excellence Award, and for a 95% or better rating on those bus inspections.
Ann Whedon is our transportation supervisor. Some improvements have been made over at the Early Childhood Center. We paid a visit to Pat Mueller over there.
We've had some renovations that we were able to make that will enhance the health and safety of our students. One of the biggest things in phase 1 was to get rid of some rather old carpeting, and it was replaced by tile. And we're thrilled to have this new floor. It really does lend itself to the idea of being able to keep the environment clean, and anything that's clean helps kids to stay healthy.
Well, Halloween is sneaking up on us, and the Lakeville Parent Student Group was in the spirit. They were putting together a haunted house over there in the media center, and we checked in with leader Cheryl Verbecki, who showed us around, holding our hand.
First, we have it for Lakeville families. We also have the cafeteria where we offer food for families and a bunch of games and fun things for our fall festival in a different part of the building. But the haunted house is like the thing everybody gets excited to come and go through. The kids are seeing us working on it all week long, and so the anticipation is building up and they can't wait to come through it. There's the option of coming through it and a scare factor, or for the younger children, it can get sort of scary. So we also offer a fairy godmother, and the fairy godmother will help to lessen the scare factor and the people jumping out and the characters where they sometimes get a little bit frightening for the little ones.
She tried to get me into the electric chair, but I didn't fit.
So we just have a student who usually volunteers to play this role, and they'll have their hair all crazy like they're being electrocuted, and there's some screaming going on and some other things that happen when people approach this scene.
And this is Oxford TV, keeping it local.
Back with you in Oxford News this week. It is time for Oxford Sports. And yes, Oxford lost a tough one against the visiting Warriors of Southfield, a 35-20 loss there. Dropped the Wildcats to 4-4 on the season. Ethan Williams carried the load Friday night. He had 47 carries, 263 yards on the ground, and 2 touchdowns, while Josh Allen had 3 catches for 61 yards through the air. John Darby was 7 for 11, 202 yards, 4 passing touchdowns for Southfield. Oxford finished the regular season. Will finish the regular season against that powerhouse, Farmington Hills Harrison. We'll wait to see what that ends up. We'll have the results on next week's broadcast. On volleyball, check it out. They are on fire. We've been happy to bring those games to you on OCTV. Oxford varsity defeated Brandon in 3 games, 3-0. It was senior night. Oxford honored 5 of their seniors that all contributed to the win. Oxford's 5 seniors are Nicole Elzerman, Kayla Manzella, Paige Parent, Jessica Nelson, and Katie DeTone. We also want to mention that JV volleyball team. They've been on fire as well. We've been broadcasting both those contests. Just happy to have the ladies out there hitting the volleyball. And for the upcoming soccer season, if you're a young lady interested in some conditioning and opportunities, they are holding a clinic. The following conditioning and training opportunities are available to any Oxford High School girl interested in trying out for the 2016-2017 soccer program, each offering a specific registration requirement. Each player is responsible for the fees associated with that requirement. It does not guarantee you a spot on the team despite taking place in the conditioning activities, but it could help you. Again, the spring season, that's ladies soccer. Check it out. It's on their website. Find out all the things you need to know about that conditioning clinic. Keeping it out on the soccer field, Oxford ended up their season against that Dragon of Lake Orion, giving up 2 goals in the first half, 3 in the second. A loss there, 5-0. Oxford's overall soccer record, 6-9-4. Once again, we're happy and been happy to bring those soccer contests to you on OCTV. We jump out to the links. That's golf, of course. Traveling to Southfield, they played Berkeley at the Evergreen Hills Country Club. We led by Kenzie at 38, Yankee not far behind at 40, Mancini 56, Hotman chipped in at 59. It rounded out the scoring, though. Not enough to pick up the victory, though. 193 to 196. Only 3 points between them and a win. Once again, that on the golf field. Check out the Oxford Athletics website. It's right there at your fingertips. That's where we get our news source. And you can find out where your athlete's going to be. And most importantly so, if you're interested in the conditioning for ladies soccer, it's all right there at your fingertips, oxfordathletics.org. While you're on the web, check our website out. It's OCCTV.org. And you can hit the program tab, hit the YouTube tab, catch any one of the programs that we broadcast here on our TV station. You can catch it right there at your fingertips, whether it be a meeting, a sporting contest, or a concert. It's right there. Catch it on your computer, iPad, or phone. Again, the website, and most importantly so to remember, OCCTV.org. That's going to wrap in sports. Have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy the sports on our weekend broadcast between 1 and 6 on Saturday and Sunday. Till next week, I'm Jamie Hughes. Have a great week, everybody.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, Subaru, in a sign of ongoing weakness in the U.S. car market, is pricing the redesigned 2017 Impreza sedan and 5-door just $100 above the outgoing 2016 model, despite a larger footprint and additional safety and communications equipment. The 2017 Subaru Impreza 2.0i sedan with a manual transmission will start at $19,215, including shipping. A CVT costs an extra $1,000. The top trim 2.0i Limited with a CVT costs $24,915, including shipping. The Impreza is the first model to get Subaru's new modular platform, which improves crashed energy protection by 40% over present models and features the brand's new design language. The 2017 Impreza is also the first to be built in the U.S. as production shifts from Japan to Indiana. The car is slightly larger, with the wheelbase has grown an inch to 105.1 inches. The sedan and 5-door are both 1.6 inches longer, 1.5 inches wider, and 0.4 inches lower than the current car. Subaru will offer new driver assist technology and multimedia features, including standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Subaru's EyeSight system includes adaptive cruise control, automatic pre-collision braking, lane departure warning, and lane keep assist. Options include blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, and steering responsive headlights. Is there anything else? Wow. Well, at Ford, in a fresh sign of pressure on U.S. car makers, Ford Motor Company on October 17th said it will shut down production of its best-selling F-150 pickup for a week at a Kansas City assembly plant and temporarily idle 3 other plants over the next several weeks. F-150 production at the Dearborn Truck Plant in Michigan will continue without interruption, Ford said. About 13,000 Ford hourly workers will be laid off during the temporary shutdowns, and there are nearly 14,000 workers at the 4 plants, the company said. Some of them are salaried managers, and of the layoffs, about 4,000 will be in Mexico and about 9,000 in the United States. The cuts will hit Ford's 3 highest volumes models in the United States. And in Japan, Nissan Motors will appoint its CEO, Carlos Ghosn, as the chairman of Mitsubishi Motors when Nissan takes a controlling stake in the smaller automaker, multiple reports said. Ghosn, 62, also serves as CEO at Nissan's alliance with partner Renault. The Nikkei paper, along with Bloomberg and Reuters, reported that Ghosn will take the chairman's role at Mitsubishi. Ghosn has asked Mitsubishi chairman and president Osamu Masuko to remain president, the Nikkei said. A Renault-Nissan alliance spokesman called the report speculation, and Mitsubishi declined to comment. Nissan, in May, said it would buy a controlling 34% stake in Mitsubishi for around $2.3 billion after Mitsubishi admitted to falsifying the mileage on 4 mini vehicle models, including 2 produced for Nissan. The admission prompted a sell-off of Mitsubishi shares. A Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi alliance would create the world's 4th largest automotive group. And on the recall front, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles is recalling nearly 183,000 Jeep Wranglers in the U.S. to fix potentially faulty wiring that may disconnect from the SUV's impact sensors in a crash. The recall covers certain 2016 to 2017 Jeep Wranglers built between June 16, 2015 and August 14, 2016. FCA noted that the 2017 Wranglers are all in company hands. The campaign was prompted by a routine in-house crash test, FCA had said on October 19th. FCA US is unaware of any related injuries, accidents, warranty claims, or customer complaints. According to documents posted on the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's recall database, under certain crash conditions, rotation of the headlight can cause the sensor wiring to pull and detach from the front impact sensor before a signal is recorded by the occupant restraint controller. If that were to happen, both frontal airbags and the seatbelt pretensioners would not deploy in the event of a crash, NHTSA said. FCA will begin notifying owners about November 25th. Dealerships will reroute the wiring free of charge. Also subject to the recall, FCA said, are 18,011 Wranglers in Canada, 3,087 in Mexico, and 20,948 outside of North America. In a separate action, FCA is recalling about 86,000 Ram 2500 and 3500 pickups, 3,500 and 4,500 and 5,500 chassis cabs from 27 to 2013 model years, as well as 2011 to 2014 models of the Dodge Charger Pursuit sedans, which are typically police vehicles. And the affected vehicles have alternators that may be subject to premature diode wear that could cause an increase in the potential of engine stalls or engine fires. One person sustained a minor injury related to this issue, FCA said. In this recall, about 75,000 are in the United States, 10,000 in Canada, and 1,100 in Mexico, and about 100 outside North America. Well, That's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to your weekly calendar of events, where we feature a weekly calendar of local Oxford and Addison community events, including charity special fundraisers and general community information. Now, if your organization would like help to get your message out to the public, contact us for detailed information at our studio phone number at 248-628-9658, or you can go to our website, occtv.org. At the November 8th general election, Oxford Voter Precinct 1 residents must remember to vote at the Oxford Free Methodist Church building at 21 East Burdick Street and not at the 22 Burdick Street Village Government Building where the August primary was held. Oxford Fire Chief Pete Schultz would like you to check your house number to make sure it's properly displayed and visible from the street. In case of emergency, responders need to find you quickly. The numbers should be no less than 3 inches high and located at the front door or over your garage door. Let's help our emergency team keep everyone safe. For more information, call 248-969-9483. Saturday, November 5th, 3 p.m., the Oxford Free Methodist Church, 790 South Lapeer Road, would like to honor all veterans and their families with a complimentary dinner at the church. A reservation is required. You can make your reservation by calling or going online, oxfordfmc.org. That's oxfordfmc.org. Monday, November 7th, 7 p.m., join in honoring the services and sacrifices of the American Armed Forces by attending the American Concert, presented by our very own Oxford Middle School orchestras. You will truly find the music is enriching and exciting. If you would like to know the true feeling of pride as an American, you won't want to miss the great experience. And get this, the concert is free. Don't miss it. Monday, November 7th, 7 p.m. A safety reminder from the Oxford Fire Department. Be careful when setting outdoor fires. Open burning season is from October 1st to April 30th. However, burning leaves, grass, and brush is prohibited at any time. You can pick up a fire permit at your local Oxford Fire Department. There is no excuse as the community service and the permit is free. To further acquaint yourself with local fire regulations, go to oxfordfiredept.com or call 248-969-9483. Oakland Family Services is a nonprofit human services agency which provides foster care and adoption services to children 5 to 18 years of age. There is an urgent need for more individuals who are willing to open their homes for these children. Intensive training and ongoing support are provided. Just call 248-858-7766, extension 236 for more information. You won't be sorry you did. Are you the owner of a local Oxford business and would you like to expand your presence in the community? If the answer is yes, then the Oxford Chamber of Commerce would like you to join in their organization and make new connections and learn things that may help you run your business a little more efficiently through networking, vendor shows, advertising seminars, and much more. For more information, contact Nicole Sturt, Chamber Director, at 248-628-0410 or go to their website, info@oxfordchamber.net. If you own a business, belong to an organization, or you are a local resident wishing to show your support for our school programs, music concerts, or any of the many programs broadcast by OCTV, you could become a sponsor and underwriter for the station. A promotional spot would be created just for you and a continual recognition given to you by our broadcast announcers. It's easy and it's inexpensive. For more information, contact our TV station manager, William Service, at 248-628-9658, or you can send a message of interest to his email address, manager@occtv.org. Now, we at Oxford Community TV would like our television viewing public to learn more about your club or organization special upcoming events. So, if you would like to get your special event mentioned on our television show, call us at 248-628-9658 or go to our website, occtv.org. One final reminder, you can locate our OCTV program schedule by going to our website, occtv.org, and clicking on Schedule. There you will find a list of OCTV programs, dates, and times. And one program I highly recommend is Bill Service, who always has interesting local stories and interviews on our Community Access program. Just check it out. This is Oxford Community Television, OCTV. I'm your host, Elgin Nichols, and we invite you to join us again the next time for your weekly calendar of events.